So if you're a small business owner in the service industry and you find out that your Facebook ads aren't working, your immediate reaction is to call up your agency or your marketing manager and ask them to fix the ad, right? Maybe it's the audience that needs to change. Maybe the creative needs tweaking. Maybe the copy isn't too good. But sometimes it has nothing to do with the ad or Facebook itself. So in my years of working with SMEs, I found that when business owners say that their ads are not working, there are some deeper rooted business problems to solve. And that's what we'll be talking about in this video. We'll talk about these 5 fundamental aspects of your business outside of your ads that need to be in top shape for you to see a good return on your investment. So if you're a business owner looking to hire a Facebook ads agency, please watch this video and score yourself against each of these areas that I'm about to bring up. Quick note before we get started, I'm going to assume that you have a proper business and you have a proven model, which means you've organically sold your service to about 20 to 50 people. You know that there's demand, you know your pricing model works. Without confirming this, Facebook ads are a bit of a gamble. You won't know if it's the ad that's not working or your business model needs repairing. Okay, so the first thing that we need to talk about is, do you have a well-trained sales team? Have you ever heard the saying that you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't really make it drink? Well, when Facebook is giving you high quality inbound leads, it is still the job of the salesperson to make the horse drink. You see, the leads that are coming in through Facebook are still quite cold, if not lukewarm. At this point, they're just curious, they want to find out more information. There's only so much selling that your ad or your landing page can do. So how do you turn these cold leads into warm ones or even have them consider becoming a customer? Well, with a little bit of tender love and care, some TLC. So here are 2 things you need to consider. You need to have extremely fast follow-up time from the time the lead opts in to the time you call them. It needs to be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Do not let it go to a day. People are busy, they're forgetful, and they might have already reached out to your competitors. Second thing to consider is, do you have a friendly professional voice on the other end of the phone? Does this person know how to build rapport with your lead? Do they know how to dig out the pain points and the desires of this person and guide the conversation to some really good questions? See, first impressions really matter, and especially if you're in a very competitive space. So personally, I make a decision to go with a service based on my first interaction with a company. Was it a friendly, pleasant person that I was talking to, or was it a drone just reading off a script? Did I get a call back immediately, a day later, a week later, or never? These things really matter to me. Now, let's say you have someone that meets that criteria, right? Someone who can follow up fast, someone who's pleasant and friendly to talk to and have a conversation with, but that's just half the job. This person not only needs to make a good first impression, but they need to follow that up with getting that booking and closing that sale. So if you want to get more bookings and close more deals, here are 4 questions you need to ask yourself. Firstly, have you assigned a dedicated person or a team to follow up with these leads? If you haven't, I'll tell you now that your leads are probably going to go to waste. They won't be followed up with on time, and without the individual accountability in place, they're going to lack the passion it needs to close the sale. So the second question you need to ask yourself is your sales team properly incentivized? Do they earn commissions on closing deals? Do they have KPIs and targets? Or have you given this job to an admin person, an order taker, who just sees this as another item on their to-do list and therefore has no incentive to do a good job at it? Okay, so the third question, and I get into a lot of arguments about this, is does your sales team follow up at least 5 to 7 times? And this can be done by calling, texting, emailing. Now, I get a lot of heat from this because people say they don't want to sound annoying, they don't want to be pestering someone. Let me tell you something, leads are just people like you and I. They are busy, they were juggling work and life and kids and errands. Personally, I don't pick up a phone until I see someone calling 3 or 4 times, right? And that's probably true for you too. So if you're gonna call a lead just one time and they don't respond and you say that's a bad lead, well, that's on you. Okay, so the last question I wanna ask is, does your sales team know how to handle objections? Do they have downsells or upsells or cross-sells in their back pocket? Have they practiced their rebuttals in advance? See, you need to plan for the fact that these leads are going to be hesitant and you need to prepare in advance for that. So long story short, make sure you have a decent, well-oiled sales process in place before you start throwing money at Facebook ads. So the second topic for today is about customer experience. So Alina, my business partner and wife, we both love to sign into lead forms for services that we're interested in, mostly because we're curious to see how the lead follow-up is. And I can tell you, there's two things that completely turn us off as prospective customers. One is the sales process, we talked about that earlier. And second is the actual customer experience. So far too often, we've gone in for a consultation or to try out a service only to be met with bored staff, long delays, confused look, average service, and no special treatment for being a first-time potential customer. See, your customer experience, it needs to be created with intention. It should be a standardized process. It should be nailed down to perfection by all the staff in the business that is going to interact with the customer. Think of it like a movie scene. You need to have the actors ready to come in and out with their dialogues ready and their actions ready, and it needs to be rehearsed over and over again to perfection. If you are interested in learning how to craft that amazing customer experience and how to orchestrate it, we are going to be making a video solely on that topic. If you want to be the first to find out, just hit the subscribe button below and you'll be notified. Until then, I'll leave you with some thinking points so that you can judge and rate your own customer service. So here are some things I want to ask you about your customer experience. What do you do to make a first-time customer feel special? Is it a nice hot or cold beverage as soon as they enter? Do you genuinely ask them how their day is going, if they're coming from work or was it their day off, if they live close by, just being warm with them? Do you have magazines or nice music playing while they wait? Do you have a follow-up with them and sit them down and ask them how they genuinely felt about the service after it's done? The second question I want to ask is your customer experience intentional? Do you have a standardized process? Do you have checklists? Do you have benchmarks that you're going to measure your staff against? And the third question is a fun one. Have you ever thought of hiring a mystery shopper and getting an unbiased, honest opinion of how your service actually is? So long story short, if you aren't making your prospective customers smile or laugh or feel extra special, if you're not delivering a wow experience to them, you're dramatically lowering your conversion rates and also your ROI from your ads. So don't spend a ton of money on ads to bring someone in for just an average experience. Okay, on to the next reason why your Facebook ads might not be working, and it's the Facebook audience size. So imagine you're in a room with 100 people. How many would you say are interested in your service? Not your business in particular, but just in the service. If the answer is 1 or 2, then Facebook is the wrong place for you. If the answer is 20 or 30 or more, then absolutely the best place to advertise would be Facebook. See, Facebook is really good at targeting the masses. This is why advertising works really well for schools and clinics and gyms and auto repair shops and real estate. Nearly everyone cares about their health, their kids' education, has a car, is looking to rent or buy a property, and is looking to get fit. But if you have a very niche service, let's say like installing cybersecurity software for clinics, how many people actually care about that? It's probably a handful of IT managers, of owners of clinics. So if that example sounds a bit like your business, then Facebook advertising is a very expensive and unproductive exercise. You're better off trying to reach these handful of people using Google Ads or traditional ways like networking at industry events or using cold emails and phone calls. So long story short, Facebook ads work best for businesses with large prospective audiences. The narrower your niche, the less likely that your ads will actually work. All right, on to the next reason why your Facebook ads may not be working, and it's how you use offers. Here's a thought pattern I see business owners have. I don't need an offer. My service is actually pretty great. And while that might be true, you might be delivering a world-class service, but you have to think about the context surrounding a lead that comes from Facebook versus organic leads. Organic leads come to you via word of mouth or SEO, so they are actively searching for you, and their qualification criteria are a lot lower. Compare that to a Facebook lead, right? If you're just popping up on their feed and saying, hey, I'm great, check me out, that's not going to be enough for them. What's more interesting to them is a limited time offer or deal or some incentive for them to take action really fast so they don't miss out. Now, when it comes to offers, there's these 3 questions I keep getting asked all the time. The first one is, why should I use offers? Why can't I just focus on my organic leads? Well, because your referral volume will always be smaller and inconsistent. Facebook ads, on the other hand, will always give you a consistent number of leads, and that's what's actually going to allow your business to scale and reach your growth goals. The second question I get is that when I discount, I'm losing a lot of revenue. Well, that's short-term thinking. If you think of a customer in terms of their lifetime value, and I mean they come in for a service repeatedly over the coming months or years, and look at that number, look at that revenue number that you can generate from them over the course of their lifetime with you, and compare that to the amount that you lost in your discount, whether it's 20, 30, or 50%. The numbers will make sense. Okay, so the third question I get asked a lot is, what if an offer doesn't suit my business? And that could be true if you're in a very unique industry and provide a unique service. We've actually had success not running offers for these businesses, but just be prepared to receive a lower quantity of leads. So long story short, a Facebook ad lead is very different than an organic lead. Your service alone is not reason enough for them to try you out. They need an incentive, some sort of a special offer or a promotion. Okay, on to the last reason your Facebook ads could not be working is you may not have a strong digital marketing ecosystem. So picture this, you see an exciting ad for a fitness club and there's a limited time offer and you're very keen on actually putting in your contact details so they can give you that free trial pass. But before you do that, you do what humans do, you Google them, or you head over to their Instagram profile and all you see is one post made a year ago. And their website's a bit tacky too. How do you feel? Seems like a bad sign, doesn't it? You decide not to opt in. Okay, so let's contrast that with another example. Same story, you come across a free trial class ad for a fitness club, but you open up their Instagram and you see they've got 3 story posts in the last 24 hours. They've got an active feed full of content. They've got 30,000 followers, a great UI on their website. Their feed shows body transformations, a happy community, lots of testimonials, and beautiful photos of the facility. How does that make you feel? You get my point, right? While organic social media content, regular blog posts, a great website might not bring you ROI in the short run, what they actually do is they amplify all your paid advertising efforts and help you generate that ROI in the long run. They build trust, they build credibility, they make your business visible. Well, just this as an example, you watching this video, doesn't it make you trust Digitalina a bit more? I mean, aren't we friends yet? So long story short, your ad efforts will be multiplied based on how strong your online presence is. And this is especially true for your social media content, for your website, and any PR activities that you do. If you've stuck with me for this long, thank you. I hope you found that useful. I hope I saved you some money. Just remember, Facebook ads don't work in isolation. You need to have a strong sales team, a great customer experience model, and a strong marketing ecosystem for you to get the results that you want. So if you feel like you're strong in all the areas that I've talked about in this video, but you still want to take your ads to the next level with Digitalina, there's 3 ways you can do that. 1, you can get our Facebook ads course where we teach you A to Z on how we run our campaigns for our clients. Number 2, you can book a consultation with us by the hour. Or number 3, you can become our client. I'll drop the links for all of those down there below, somewhere here. Go check them out and I'll talk to you soon.